What's going on, guys? Messi here and welcome to a brand new video and welcome to a daily dose of transfer gossip. And today is going to be Monday the 22nd of July, got confirmed deals to go through as well as the rumours. So just before we get started, if you could do our good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yes, this episode will be down below in the description box. At current schedule, every day at 8 AM UK time, it's a new transfer upload. And finally, in the comment section below, where do you think Gareth Bale will be playing next season? Right, let's jump into confirmed deals then. And first up, we've got Portuguese forward Nelson Oliveira. He joined Greek side AEK Athens from Norwich City at an undisclosed fee. Kara has joined Al Salia in the Qatari League from Anderlecht in Belgium, and it's an undisclosed fee for that one as well. And I believe for part of last season at least, is playing in Ligue 1 and then returned to the Belgian side. Mousse has joined Sheffield United from Bournemouth for a fee of around £10 million as a new club record signing. It's their fifth signing of the window so far and the third time they've broken the record already. Football London are saying Tottenham striker Vincent Janssen is set to complete a move to Mexican side Monterrey next week. It doesn't suggest how much a fee would be, but since making the move to Tottenham, I believe 3 years ago now, it really hasn't gone to plan. And then move on to one from the Telegraph. They're saying Newcastle are interested in a move for former striker Andy Carroll. He is currently a free agent after being released by West Ham and is also recovering from ankle surgery. Steve Bruce's side are closing in on the £35 million signing of Hoffenheim forward Joelinton, but the new boss is also looking at a second striker to add to his squad. And they will be missing the aerial threat and presence of Salomon Rondon they had last season because he's now gone to Dalian Yifang in China. So quite possibly Andy Carroll as a plan B, it might not be too bad. And next up, Ajanspor are saying Crystal Palace forward Christian Benteke is a target for Turkish giants Fenerbahce. The 28-year-old has fallen out of favour at Selhurst Park and he's found the net just 4 times in the last 2 seasons in all competitions. Fenerbahce would reportedly attempt to sign him initially on a loan deal, but also include an option to buy. There were rumours suggesting he'd be going to the Chinese Super League a few months ago and be opted to stay at Crystal Palace. And next up, Calcio Mercato are saying Milan are set to contact Atletico Madrid next week over a move for striker Angel Correa. So they're talking about this upcoming week from today onwards, and it's a bit of an update from an article a few days ago. The Rossoneri view the 24-year-old as an ideal partner for Piontek up top and are willing to spend big to make that partnership a reality. Atletico do want around €55 million for him, and I mentioned before as well that Atletico have sold a lot of players so far this summer. They've also brought in so many new faces. And now according to Le 10 Sport, they're saying Inter have joined the race for Lille striker Rafael Leao. The 20-year-old is one of the most sought-after names on the market as of right now, and Napoli, Valencia, Roma and Everton are all hoping to land his signature. And you can now add Inter to that list. The French side are looking for €40 million to sell the striker, and I could be wrong, but I think they got him on a free last year from Sporting. And it might be a backup option in case they can't or might not get Lukaku. The fee they're asking for Manchester United seems very high and Inter aren't really willing to pay that, and Rafael Leao might not be a bad go-to option. And now moving on according to Sport Media Set, again an update from yesterday's episode. They are saying Juventus are prepared to sell Moise Kean for around €30 million this summer, but only with a buyback clause. They want a clause of €40 million to buy him back, so realistically, if the club's interested, yes, they might get him for cheap for at least 1 year, but if he's successful, he essentially goes straight back to Juventus, and they make just 10 mil profit. Like, I'd understand if it was set at like say 60 mil plus, so they double their money or whatever. But apparently sides interested are Arsenal, Borussia Dortmund, Everton and Sevilla. Benfica's Andre Carrillo is set to make his loan move to Saudi club Al Hilal permanent for a fee of €9.2 million. That's according to Portuguese outlet Record. The 28-year-old Peru international, who's previously spent time at Watford and also Sporting, spent last season with Al Hilal. And Manchester Evening News are saying David De Gea has agreed a new 6-year contract at Manchester United worth £110 million. He'll become the world's highest paid goalkeeper, and I'm pretty sure I've done the maths wrong here, but the articles are suggesting £375,000 a week. The Times are saying Manchester United are moving forward in negotiations for Lille star Nicolas Pepe. The 24-year-old Ivorian has been a revelation in the last 2 seasons, with a combined 37 goals and 17 assists in all competitions for the French side. United are one of several clubs interested in Pepe, but may soon turn their interest into a concrete offer. However, with 3 years remaining on his current contract, Lille demand as much as £70 million for their star man. And Pepe is a player that is very much in demand, and you can understand the interest from essentially any top European club. But according to reports in Italy at least, Napoli were favourites offering a player plus 50 mil, but the player himself, he wants to join Liverpool. Arsenal are stepping up their pursuit of Real Madrid midfielder Dani Ceballos on loan, according to Goal. The Gunners are increasingly confident of landing their man, and a deal could be struck as soon as Wednesday, because that's when the two clubs meet for a pre-season friendly. Arsenal also preparing a third bid for Celtic left-back Kieran Tierney after beating Tottenham to St Etienne centre-back William Saliba. And they want to sign 4 players this summer, so you would imagine alongside Tierney and also Saliba, Ceballos is there, they want Wilfried Zaha for example, maybe Everton from Gremio, so it will look like a summer potentially full of disappointment. It's starting to turn around. PSG and Everton's fee negotiations for Idrissa Gueye are at an advanced stage, and are said to imminently conclude positively for a €30 million plus bonuses deal, that's according to Le Parisien. PSG are hoping an agreement is done by the beginning of next week. So they were after him back in January and it didn't really work out. Instead they went for Leandro Paredes. And I would guess that Paredes now potentially could be sold and Idrissa Gueye comes in. And now according to the Sunday Times, they're saying Manchester City have reached an agreement with Juventus on a fee of more than £45 million for fullback João Cancelo. But first to get him, they need to offload Danilo. They were trying to offer Danilo as part of a deal to Juventus, but the Turin-based side had no interest whatsoever in the Brazilian, so City have got to find another destination. And now according to the Daily Record, they're saying Eintracht Frankfurt are considering a bid for Rangers striker Alfredo Morelos. The 23-year-old has been viewed as a necessary reinforcement. That's after Frankfurt sold Sebastian Haller and Luka Jovic. That was to West Ham and Real Madrid respectively. Rangers are prepared to wait for a £20 million offer before considering a sale. And Gerrard has said over and over again that Morelos won't be available for cheap, and if he is to make a move, it'll be a fairly large amount. And now according to Le Parisien again, they're saying Paris Saint-Germain have stepped up their pursuit of Youssef Attal. Dani Alves' departure has left a hole on the right side of PSG's defence, and not all at the club are convinced by Thomas Meunier, who only has 1 year left in his current contract. Napoli are the club who Nabil Fekir has hit the brakes on a move to Real Betis for, that's according to RMC. He is considered as a backup option to James Rodriguez, who right now seems very much likely to stay in Spain and go to Atletico Madrid instead. But in this market for €30 million for a player of Fekir's ability, I don't think it's really a massive risk to take. And now moving on according to football journalist Tancredi Palmieri, who I will say his reliability isn't really that great. But he said Manchester United have held more discussions regarding a move for Sporting midfielder Bruno Fernandes. The Red Devils are hoping to wrap up a deal for the Portugal international by next week after several weeks of speculation. And the whole stories about Bruno Fernandes went a bit quiet because about, the very start of the window, he was into so many different teams. And since pre-season resumed, the rumours have gone a bit quiet, but it does seem that he will still get a move somewhere and United could be that place to go. And now we have some massive quotes from Zinedine Zidane. They're talking about Gareth Bale and his future, and the quotes do say, Gareth Bale is very close to leaving. We hope he can leave soon. If he leaves tomorrow, it'll be even better. It's nothing personal, I have nothing against Bale, but I make decisions. There comes a time when we have to change. And obviously those quotes are very hard hitting. For a player that, in my opinion, has done a fair amount despite injuries, Zidane quite clearly isn't a big fan of him. And Bale's agent has already responded to this by saying Zidane is a disgrace. He shows no respect for a player who did so much for Real Madrid. And I think it's somewhat right, because if you go back 13 months ago to the Champions League final in 2018 against Liverpool, Bale scored 2 goals, one of which was an outrageous overhead kick. I know it's all ifs and buts, but for example, if Bale doesn't score those 2 goals, obviously it could have been completely different. But the score would have technically been 1-1, and I know Karius's mistakes are still there. But yeah, Bale, it doesn't say where he'll be going. He has been into a fair amount of clubs across the basically the last 3 or 4 years now. To Manchester United, a return to Tottenham. I think PSG are in there, Inter at one point, and a couple days ago it was Bayern. His very high wages will put a fair amount of teams off, and it's understandable why. But you would imagine that if Real Madrid genuinely want to sell him and get him off their books, the best thing they can do is lower the asking price. Maybe if they reduce it a decent amount, teams will be like, you know what, we can offer him a good salary, he might take a bit of a pay cut, but at least we can get a deal done. And next up, according to Mundo Deportivo, they're saying Bayern Munich have offered defender David Alaba to Manchester City and Barcelona as a potential makeweight in their attempts to sign Leroy Sané and Ousmane Dembele. The 27-year-old Austrian international has been unwilling to sign a contract extension, and his current deal expires in 2021, so the Bundesliga champions are looking to cash in. City is so far refusing to budge on Leroy Sané, but if Barca's move for Neymar goes through, Dembele may become available. And now we move on to Felipe Luis, and the left back has announced now he's joining Flamengo in Brazil. It's from Atletico and it's a free transfer. There was a bit of talk suggesting he might be staying at Atletico maybe, as despite his contract running out, but he confirmed it yesterday by saying his goodbyes to Atletico and he'll be returning back to Brazil. And next up, we've got Andre Silva. According to Calcio Mercato, he is very close now to completing a switch from AC Milan to Monaco. He's set to sign a 5-year contract and move for €30 million. And now we've got a very interesting story from The Independent. They're saying that PSG have informed Real Madrid they would accept Gareth Bale plus cash in a sensational swap deal for Neymar. I was saying before, I wasn't really too sure where Bale would end up, but this could be a real possibility, because if Neymar wants to go and he's keeping his options open, like he's not just destined to go back to Barca, he could go to Real Madrid, Juventus, United, there's like 3 other teams included. So him at Real Madrid, it'd make an incredible summer window for them. And the final one of the episode is from Bleacher Report. They're saying Manchester United and Leicester City have agreed an £18 million fee for the transfer of England international defender Harry Maguire. It will be a world record fee for a defender now, obviously overtaking Virgil van Dijk's price to Liverpool. And for United, obviously their defence was a massive issue last season. So the fee they'd be paying for Maguire, it could be a lot more than someone else like City would pay. And we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But that, guys, is going to be it for this video. So if you could do our good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yes, this episode will be down below in the description box, and current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time is a new transfer upload. And finally, in the comment section below, where do you think Gareth Bale will be playing next season? So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.